Hi YouTube, my name's Bethan if you don't already know. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about one of my other medical conditions known as dyspraxia. To be honest, I'm not quite sure how it all came about or anything, but all I do know is that when I was 10 years old, I was diagnosed with another medical condition, which, like I've said, is known as dyspraxia. Okay, what is dyspraxia? Dyspraxia is basically another name for a condition known as developmental coordination disorder. Dyspraxia can make a person act or be clumsier than what any normal person would be. I say it like that because I don't like the word normal and I don't believe in it. And this is due to the way that the brain processes the information of how your body should move or how it should react to a given scenario. So an example of this is if someone was whizzing around the corner too fast in the car. Obviously your natural instinct is going to be, if you're already in the road, to get out of it. Before you get yourself run over. However, in a person with dyspraxia, like myself, the brain does think of this reaction, but it cannot process it as quickly as it would in any other person that doesn't have the condition. This is because in people with dyspraxia, the message doesn't send properly to their brain. It doesn't mean to say we don't have brains and that they don't work, because I know it's hard to believe, but trust me, I do have a brain. Just about anyway. Dyspraxia can make some things harder to learn or pick up. So one example is when I was younger, and still now, my peers around the same age as me, they could do joint up writing a lot quicker and neater than what I could. So I spent a lot of time in junior school learning to write joint up and doing handwriting lessons and things. But I did eventually learn to write joint up. But now I still have handwriting issues, which is that my handwriting is very illegible and hard to read. I mean, even sometimes I'll write something, like if I'm at college, I don't know, a teacher might ask me to read it back because I can't read it, and then I'll go to read it to them, and then I realise I can't even read what I've written. So that's not very helpful, but yeah. But most of the time this is because I'm rushing to copy things down. Doing this takes practice and is something I've had to overcome, such as, like I said, doing handwriting lessons at school and doing writing exercises at home. Dyspraxia also can affect motor skills, which includes things such as writing, threading needles for sewing and that sort of thing, tying shoelaces. I still do mine in the little bunny ears, and everyone at college takes me at me, but it's fine. Doing buttons up on clothing, using cutlery correctly, driving, like with the steering, which is something I've struggled with in my lessons, which is why it's taken me so long to learn to drive. Catching and throwing, I'm a nightmare at that. Riding bikes, and so on. What are the signs and symptoms of dyspraxia? Symptoms would include the above, as well as finding it hard to do puzzles, model building, playing ball games such as throwing and catching, which was above. Coordination and balance is definitely involved. Well, in me it is anyway. Some people do have it, some people don't, but I definitely do. Behavioural issues. In some cases, those affected can have speech impediments, which I kind of do, I suppose. The symptoms of dyspraxia occur due to the poor development of the motor control of the body, so of the body's muscles. The body's muscles are supposed to be able to work individually to produce small movements, such as waving to someone across the street, to working in a group to perform, more complex movements, which could be something like gymnastics, dance, anything really. Or it could include something like hopscotch, which when you have to jump and go into hop and things like that. One symptom that does occur in most people with dyspraxia is something known as low muscle tones, which means that when the body is producing a movement, the muscle can decide to go floppy on you, which I personally haven't experienced that as far as I'm aware of anyway. It also can work the other way, which is making a person double jointed, which is something I do have. This is something new that I've only recently found out about, and find it quite interesting to know, where I've actually got my double jointedness from, because it's never really been known. The fact that I can get my legs over the back of my head as well, it shows you do learn something new every day, and I'm not showing you that one because it's not a very nice sight really. You'll just have to trust me on that one. what causes dyspraxia? To be honest, I didn't really know what to, write on the script for this, because obviously I'm reading off the script again. Scripture. For this part of my video, but yeah, I know that you may be curious like myself, and may be interested in knowing the answer to this question, and I'll be honest, like I said, I didn't know the answer to it myself, so I have conducted a fair bit of research to find the answer, because I'm good for you. I'm so good like that for you. Joking. Yeah. And to be honest, my curious little mind didn't really have much luck until I came across one website which explained why I wasn't able to. Which is because it said that it is not actually known what causes dyspraxia to occur. So that explains that one. I found it kind of weird as it is such a commonly known condition. I mean, I know a fair few people myself who have dyspraxia, not including myself. And I've heard stories and read other blogs of people who have dyspraxia. And I know compared to my other conditions, such as microtia, there is a lot more awareness out there for dyspraxia. So that kind of shocked me that they don't know what causes certain things, and that there's not a lot of awareness for dyspraxia. It is also more publicly known about, so if you ask someone on the street, they're more likely to know what dyspraxia is over something like microtia. However, it's believed that it could be due to a poor link between the nerve cells. However, it has also been suggested that perhaps it's to do with the cerebellum function being weaker, and that weaker than what it should be instead of the nerve cells. Scientific research has been conducted, obviously not by myself, so I'm not that good, as well, which didn't really show all that much, to be honest. Well, at least it doesn't sound like they did, as they also believe that it could be linked to the cerebellum function, as this is the centre of the brain that is in charge of the skills that are needed for the body. It is true that the cerebellum does have the vital responsibility role, being in charge of the processing of how the human learns these vital skills that are needed in their day-to-day life, or that they will need at some point. And this is the part that enables us to be able to ride a push bike, tie shoelaces, and to be fair, it is fair to say that these are things that you do on a day-to-day basis without really thinking about them. I mean, how many people sit there and go, 1 minute I've got to try and concentrate to do my buttons up, or 1 minute I'll just tie my shoelaces and have to think about it. Well, I do shoelaces sometimes, but that's just me. Yeah. And I don't really require much effort to do. However, it is right in saying it is the cerebellum that causes dyspraxia. If it is right, rather, in saying that it is the cerebellum that causes dyspraxia. If it doesn't work how it should, or it has a weak function, then perhaps it should then have this result in the cerebellum not being able to communicate with other parts of the brain. It has also been believed that if you are a premature baby, like myself, that later in life you'll also develop dyspraxia. Again, there's no proof of that, so that may or not be true, and I suppose it is down to you personally what you believe the reason is, and to affect it. Premature babies like myself, the reason that they believe it affects premature babies like myself is because the cerebellum that causes the premature birth is, in most normal scenarios, because I'm born by cesarean section, so again I don't encounter that. So yeah, how many people does dyspraxia affect? Dyspraxia affects around 1 in every 10 people born in the UK alone. Another way of thinking of this is that every one child in a school classroom will have the condition, with 2% being severely affected by the condition. So that's like if you're in a classroom of 30, in every 30, 1 child will have it. So that's normally the typical amount in a class. Does dyspraxia affect one gender more than another? Dyspraxia affects both men and women, or girls and boys, whichever way you want to think of it. Affects them equally. And however, it is four times more likely to be a man that gets it. Is dyspraxia genetic? Dyspraxia is not always genetic, but however, it has been found to run in some families. So there is a possibility of dyspraxia running in families. maybe it's just one person in the family or the whole generation in the family will have the condition. I hope you've learned something new, today, and that this video has helped. And yeah, if you like the video, thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe. Leave me a comment if you want. Inbox me. And yeah, I will speak to you soon. Bye.